Righto, good morning folks. This is the 100 series Land Cruiser of mine which I need to offload. It has a bit of rust, structural in the chassis rails up the front right hand side. It might jump straight into that. I've had this vehicle most of its life other than the past, well, the first 3 years, and due to I guess just age, the photos will provide it better for you, but you can see the rust through there, and that's probably not going to be serviceable economically, at least anyway. So pretty much as is. It does drive. I drive it still at the moment, but it wouldn't pass the safety. I don't think roadworthy with that going on down there. And interestingly, the other side's all right. The only other parts of rust in this thing is you get a little bit up around the pillars here. See here? I've done probably a bit of work on those about 5-10 years ago. I think you get a little bit through in this side channel too in the gutter, which results in it coming through here. And you will find you get a little bit of moisture come through here occasionally. So from a body perspective, it's sort of, we've done everything we can to this thing. The sills here have been replaced. In fact, not that long ago, about probably 5 years ago, down at Cooperoo there, the boys replaced that sill, and in fact they did both sides. They couldn't get a part for the other side, so they sort of had to make a sill up, and she looked pretty good now. So you can sort of see up under here, it's all quite nice and tidy. So from a sill perspective, that's been fixed up quite well, but yeah, getting up into here is a tedious task in this day and age. Time is money. So we're looking to just effectively sell as is, drive away if you wish, and take the plates off it once you've got it all in your possession. I think with the tyres you're probably starting to get towards the end of their life on them. Some of them are a little bit uneven in wear, which is probably in part neglect on my behalf with regards to wheel alignment and rotation. Inside on the body and the interior all is pretty good. You got 4 doors plus the 2 barnies at the back. The dashboard is all complete, everything is in there. I will remove the UHF radio because that's a Kenwood I've programmed. I'll probably keep that radio in. It does have USB, which I use as a Bluetooth receiver. The antenna, which is pretty good. So it does have pretty much everything up the front you'd expect. Because it has been a mining vehicle, the hazard light knob is one here that needs to have the big on, got my lights on thing. This one here is disabled, the stock one, right? Yeah, everything works from there. Ciggy lighters and all that sort of stuff are all good. For some reason the steering wheel seems to have been eaten by some sort of insect in the car a couple of years ago. Seats themselves are all in good nick. This one here's a little bit dicky with regards to how this works here, but you know, from a tear on the seats perspective, that sort of gives you an extent of the damage on the seats. If you wanted some seats, they should all be pretty good because they've got a good cover on them. It's just a bit exposed here, that's all. But yeah, it had seat covers on all my life, and prior to my inheritance with it, it would have had seat covers as well. The first 3 years it was with 4-drive hire. I was doing a hire arrangement down in Adelaide, running the pipeline, right? So no salt water work, no mine work, no beach work. Apart from beach work where I've taken it to Fraser and Morton, all that sort of stuff. I don't know, a few times. Some of the rust that you get, I'll just turn this light on so you can see see how you got this rust here. So this is sort of where, and through here as well, this is where you get to a point where, you know, it's not worth me trying to keep this thing on the road too much, right? The sills, as I mentioned, this side are really good, right? It's great, and even up under here as well. Very nice. All the underbody should all be pretty good. I mean, there's a little bit of oil on that, off the rear diff housing. But I only just recently actually had the front right hand hub renewed, as you do. Service history and records on there. In fact, I found some old service papers from probably the first 8 years of its existence with me. These doors are good. Generally, they shut all right. They're not too bad. They're as good as they sort of get, you know, they like. But yeah, everything's pretty much good in here. Those rear seats, which fold up and remove, I remove them quite a bit. They're all there intact, no damage on those. And yeah, I don't know what you do with it. It's got a rear tow bar, which is a Toyota accessory, with the racks, those three. So 2 are the Toyota genuines, and then you got your, no actually, yeah, that's a Toyota as well. It's got a different sticker on it. The rear one's a bit different, right? It's because of the height and stuff. I don't know, maybe they changed the model, but anyway, it's got 3 bloody racks. That awning, I'll take that off, right? Because yeah, this is, you just want this for parts. So that's a new hub just put on there, as I mentioned. This wash is nice and squeaky clean. Let's have a look underneath the engine bay. That's where the important stuff is. That hub was done too, I think. They do both sides. There are a couple of good hubs on there. But yeah, have a look at that rust. It's a cracker, isn't it? Hey, look at that. I don't know what happens. I think the sand must, and moisture, you know, gets up inside this here and sits there. You know, it can't escape, because when they put the aftermarket bar on, I don't think the original intended design to allow it to go out through those holes happens anymore. From a springs perspective, I can't remember if we put Dobson or Novellis on. You might be able to see that down there. Oh, I can't. No, anyway, so the shockers and springs, they're about 2 inches above the stock setup. I think they're alright still. Handles pretty well. It does handle more firmly than the car I'm going to replace this one with, which is testimonial. So this is your 1HZ, the old trusty straight 6, and it's just the timing belts due for replacement on 41. Now this is done about 300 and something, 305 or 310,000, so can't remember. Maybe, oh yeah, anyway, I have to homework for me, but a little bit of oil here. Mind you, I haven't really degreased this thing for 5 years. That looks like the engine mounts have been done recently for us. But all the important stuff all works as far as the engine goes. In fact, the belt's renewed recently. I managed to break that trying to fix it myself as a lesson learnt. If you come around here and you look at your brake system, everything's pretty good there, right? There's not much happening in the way of leaks. Yeah, so I think there is a little leak somewhere in the exhaust, or a gasket off the exhaust. It's very minor. It's been there for quite some time, so I don't know. Well, like, you just probably want to find that if you ever had to plumb it in or out, you'd be right with a gasket, because it's not like there's a hole in it. what I want to do is just grab a rag. This is the workshop, guys. Welcome to the labs at HZJ now. We'll just have a look at those nameplates, right? Gets a little bit of sun on it this side. Been here about 5 years, so that's why she's faded. That's an aftermarket I put in. You can see the aftermarket's nowhere near as good as the genuines when it comes to fading. These lights, yeah, I'll take them off, remove them as I will with the radio. Battery's good, cranks well. I'll show you how it starts in a sec. What's all this stuff here going on? Windscreen wipery type stuff. What are we doing here at the firewall? Oh yeah, so it's got the anti-rust thing. I actually think I might have, oh no, she's running again. I replaced it. Or I got it replaced under warranty. I think it stopped working. It sort of interfered a bit with the radio, the AM radio, you know, when I ran like an auxiliary light. See these white wires here? That's me running a light down the back. So when you stand at the back underneath the tailgate, you got a ground light. So when that was run down parallel, I think it started to introduce a bit of harmonic distortion through. So yeah, these blue wires are your electronic rust prevention things, as they say. So I mean, when it did stop working, I noticed that the rust seemed to sort of rapidly increase relative to when it was running. So yeah, I replaced that, and I got it replaced in the warranty or bought another one. Can't remember, but it does have one there. So, and there's no point me removing it because I'm not going to fit one. I don't think I really need them. Right, so back to the block. There's your engine. Just a little bit of an advisory notice there about the camshaft removal. This engine was manufactured to something that I can't read, but some sort of standard, I guess. We talked about the nameplate on the timing belt, the battery itself, which is a CCA 810 with an RC of 185. And why are you going upside down, mate? Can't even remember which way this video is supposed to go now. Probably an upside down video. I'll flip the bloody thing. Anyway, it just turned you. I don't know. Yeah, the Sentry N70 ZZLXMF, and that MF acronym is not what you think the mother is. Probably you've got your right and your left. So all this is all good. All right, let's just not get out of these weeds much anymore. Let's get back to the main game, which is the plates. Which is what we're all about here with this rag. So I guess this thing's made in Japan, eh? And yeah, of course the HZJ105R. Turn off. Let me hit this button again. 13 minutes. Gee, this is a long video. Let me turn this bloody thing back on again. I'm no good at this stuff, eh? Come on. Come on. Maybe the battery's getting flat in the thing, eh? Yeah, technology. Rubbish. Alright, next plate. Very hard to read, that one. That actually says Land Cruiser 100 series. Yeah, that is indecipherable to me. If you want to get a forensic investigation done on these plates, guys, to work out what they are, you're most welcome to. Alright, well, we're not seeing anything new here. The bar's all good. Yeah, a little bit of rust impact in that bar. Just down here you can see you've got a little bit. Not too bad though. Not too bad. Radiator's all good, I think. Air conditioning system's all good. The belts are good, the compressors are nice and quiet and all that sort of stuff. These struts had been regassed. don't know, about 8 years ago. They hold up well, pretty bloody well. A big gust of breeze might blow them off, but that's all right. Can't think about anything too much in there. Gee, they're a pretty long engine, aren't they, really? Let me stand back and have a look. But yeah, no, that's it. Oh, what a feeling. Mirrors, everything there's all there. This is you know, a little bit flimsy, but it holds, so that's all good. All the door handles work, as I mentioned. All the doors are all good. We've done the dashboard, we've done inside. Obviously vinyl, you can't go too far wrong. Things don't wear out too much there. Most of the vinyl is where it needs to be. The dash mat's been covered up, so you're pretty good. There's some bonus papers there for whatever that's all about. The old brass monkey stickers each year in Sundown National Park camping in the middle of July. So that's one of the annual festivals that this one gets to partake in. We take the rear seats out. There's plenty of room. She's a nice big bus. Again, all the rear here, very good. A little bit of wear and tear in here, but nonetheless, they're all pretty good. Everything works here pretty well mechanically. This is a two-hand job. There you go. Bring that down like that. Chuck your stuff on top, and then lift that up too, of course. But I normally just pull it out. So you get the full 2.1 metre length in the back. Spare tyre in the back. So yeah. So I think the spare tyre is actually probably one of the original set of second-hand tyres I bought for the car when I had first bought it 20 years ago. And they only had half tread on them. That's actually still on the spare. So the four that's on it were the Mickey Thompsons that I purchased new about, I don't know, 5 years after I bought the car. And yeah, that's the only set of tyres I've effectively had, apart from the initial half-used good years, which are just here as a spare. I'll try to show you a little bit around the back end. And those springs have still actually got a bit of colour in them, really. But they were put on when I initially purchased the car in 2004 or 1999. Jeez, I forget now. Maybe don't have a coffee. It's still early. I've come out early to film it because the light helps, you know, but the time of day doesn't help me. You got a jack. You got personal items there. I throw a block of timber underneath that jack because of the lift kit, and that's probably somewhere in here. Look at that complimentary piece of timber, so you can change the tyre. These all stay in together pretty well. Two-hand job. Nice. Yeah, righto. So, all good. I don't think there's anything else I need to show. I mean, obviously the bar at the back here is, tow bar is good. I do have the ball and all that sort of stuff to go in there. This thing here is a little bit loose. I mean, these always get hooked up. I've hooked this up a few times. So it's sort of, you know, not ideal, but it's quite common, you know what I mean? So, throw a couple of zip ties in it would do, but that's sort of recent. Those about 6 months ago. Mentioned that rust around the gutter, around here and stuff. So, you know, you're really looking at wanting to use this for donor parts, bar, engine, those sorts of things. I'd have to have a look to see what the going rate is. There's Isuzu coming back here. You know, he'll be coming back here, and he'll be. That's pretty much what I'll be running. But not the D-Max, the MUX, right? Yeah. So yeah, there it is, folks. That's a pretty thorough setup. These lights here are the aftermarket ones. I actually only put them in like 6 months ago because the ones that were fitted about 5 years ago to replace the original genuine Toyota incandescent ones were all just, yeah, they didn't last too long, the first gen LEDs, so see how they go. Yeah, it's got this little trim that's going around. I don't have it all the way through because I've probably had work undertaken on this panel. I don't know, don't worry about that. Oh yeah, what we should do is start the bus up, hey? See how we go. Oh, any more plates on this one? No. No plate. No plate. Yeah, I always try to keep the seals clean on the doors and lubricate everything, and so everything's quite well serviced really. Obviously all the gear sticks are working, typical as you'd expect. Shifts very easily, gears, both the 5-speed gearbox and the 4-wheel drive. Clutch, look at that, not too much squeak in the clutch. Brakes always nice and good, change gears nicely, and we'll just start it up. Foot ready on the pedal, there's our key, timing belt off. I like to turn it off and then back on again just to, yep, alright. Okay, so that's good. Like it starts, it responds, and you can see the batteries. Oh, hang on, sorry guys. Alright, the alternator's bringing things up there. Alright, for limited time only, there's plenty of fuel in it. The old flick over to the sub, there's the sub tank. Alright, don't run too much in there because there's a bit of weight in the back. So here's your subby, bring it back up. So extended range tank's all good. Yeah, everything else on the tree's fine. Turn it off again, start up again. Right, go. No foot on pedal that time, right? There's no foot on pedal. So that's the oh, what a feeling. They are such a great engine. The mileage on that one comes in at 309,000. If you get in quick, you can get into it before we crack over to the 310. All right, well that's the brief on the Cruiser. I hope you've enjoyed the thorough level of coverage. Look, I don't want to have long back and forth discussions about it, you know. I've moved on, I'm over it. As my son said, it's very, you know, disheartening to have to take the vehicle out of service due to that rust that we found when we came back from Orton Island on the clean-up. But that's the way it is. My loss, your gain, folks. And, well, you know, there it is. Not many of those things around. Probably getting hard to get parts from now as well. So if you ever need a setup as is, you can drive it away from here. You can drive it anywhere through Queensland, Australia. It does run on the road quite well. It's just we've got that structural time bomb up there, and as I say, your photos, if you wanted to have a look at it with more detail, will show you what the impact of that damage is. We do have a gentleman down there at Jim Boomba who does do quite a bit of work on vehicles like this, modifications, you know, put trays on utes and all that sort of stuff, and conversions and all that sort of thing. He's an option if you wanted to, you know, get that fixed up and have it as is, but I think, you know, in practical terms, you're looking at using this one for the parts. Haven't put many new stickers on it in recent years, have we? No, we haven't. But yeah, when you drive it, there's not any rattles or stuff inside and all that sort of thing. So, you know, you will get a nice drive back to your place with it to tear the thing apart. Okay, well, you know what to do. If you're interested, don't dilly-dally. I'm not in any major rush, but no point in me leaving it here for any longer than necessary. It's good to go. Good to go now. This is Brendan. This is Seven Hills. This is Brisbane. It's a 100 series Land Cruiser, 1999 model. We'll check you later. See ya.